Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. All right, another scam alert here. Working Money Channel, working with two G's here. Money CH, guys. This is not me. This is an imposter. So please, I will link this imposter's Twitter in the description of the video. It'll be the first link under resources. Please report these fools because it's continuing. I have no idea. They don't have that many followers, thankfully. But it's continuing to be a problem, and I think coming into this next bull run, we are going to see more. We're going to see more people trying to scam us. Of course, they'll use techniques like phishing expeditions, where they will try to DM you and pretend that they are me, for example. Anyway, this was brought to my attention by Mr. Man on Twitter. So if you guys want to do me a solid, report this fool. It would be greatly appreciated. Wanted to keep moving, guys. Joel Katz, yeah, he should never tweet stuff like this out. Here's an example of the kind of thing I should never, ever tweet. $589,000 check. I guess this was some Warriors basketball charity thing. Warriors Community Foundation here says 10th anniversary. As we know, David Schwartz is a Warriors fan. But I mean, yeah, David Schwartz does tend to double down. That said, though, David Schwartz also does have an uncanny knack for predicting things that occur in the crypto space. I mean, it could just be coincidence. However, a lot of us tend to disagree. Well, check that out, by the way. BBBY, Bed Bath & Beyond, has 1,589 tweets trending right now. Anders on Twitter also noticing this. Garlinghouse and Schwartz still 589. Now, of course, we had this tweet from a couple of days ago, but we also have Brad Garlinghouse and the fact that he's following 589 people on Twitter, and he maintains that. It's interesting because Crypto Mango noticed this. Brad has been maintaining that 589 as recently as today. He's loving it. So here's a live Twitter summary of Brad Garlinghouse's Twitter handle. And as you guys can see, he's maintained 589 Twitter followers. On the 23rd of March, though, he did add one follower, which brought him to 590. But then as of just yesterday, if you guys are watching this video on the day of its drop, Sunday, March the 26th, he did remove one, bringing him back to 589 followers. So, don't know what's going on here. It is interesting and fun to keep up with, considering the world is crumbling around us. This is from Kenwood Capital here on Twitter. I want to know what he knows, guys. This is the president of Kenya telling its citizens to, get rid of US dollars. Listen to this.
For the people who work numbers, I am giving you free advice that those of you who are holding dollars, you surely might go into losses. You better do what you must do, because this market is going to be different in a couple of weeks.
This market is going to be different in a couple of weeks. So, warning, get out of US dollars. I also happen to notice this, guys, from Michael Branch. Federal Reserve data shows that bank deposits have dropped significantly between March 8th and March the 15th. So, of course, this coincides with the recent collapse of SVB, Silicon Valley Bank. Data from the Federal Reserve, though, has showed that deposits of all U.S. commercial banks fell by $98 billion within that week, but rose by $67 billion for the top 25 banks in the country. So exactly what they predicted was going to happen. Money moving out of the small banks and into the safer, bigger, quote unquote, these are big quotes, big air quotes, by the way, bigger, safer banks. This suggests that customers move their funds from regional banks to big banks that are too big to fail. Obviously, the American public is worried of a bigger collapse. And even the president of Kenya is saying this. Also, banks are borrowing at an unprecedented rate. So the government and major banks' moves to calm nerves has not wholly eased concerns about a potential crisis in the banking system. Several users are still moving funds out of small banks, leading the banks to borrow at an alarming rate to prevent bank runs. CNN reported that borrowing by small U.S. banks reached the highest rate since the turn of the century. According to the report, the banks borrowed $669.6 billion this week, but analysts believe that this is just an effort by the banks to prepare for any bank run that does not necessarily signal a current problem. So what they are saying is banks are just preparing now for, foreseeing what could happen in the near future. A look at Bitcoin's recent rally showed that U.S. investors had played a significant part in the price rise. According to Matrix Port's head of research and strategy, Marcus Thielen, Americans are buying Bitcoin with both hands. Thielen noted that 47% of the purchases that fueled Bitcoin's price increase came from U.S. institutional players. So, we are seeing a bit of a rally in crypto. Obviously, that had been spurred on originally by the closure of SVB. I've got Bitcoin here, guys, on the daily real quickly here. And as of the time of this recording, Bitcoin, still hovering in this level of support. XRP, though, guys, has been doing fairly well. XRP is up now about another penny since this morning's video. And depending on when you guys are watching this video, it might be up or down a little more. So XRP doing well too. And I guess I got to give some more context to this. I did see this after the fact. Leonidas here, keeping us honest. Kenyan president dollar statement. My understanding is he was, or rather he told his people, the ones that are hoarding USD, that their USD will be worth fewer shillings in the next few weeks because fuel companies will be buying fuel in KES. So, this just, going to the point that the US dollar and US dollar dominance no longer going to be the main option or the main player when it comes to trade and buying. So to give context to this statement, not that it's going to be a huge, global collapse of the US dollar, but in fact, due to regional gas purchasing, it may be that for Kenyans, holding US dollars might not be the best strategy. Greenback demand in the country has been rising over the last few years due to the high demand from importers. However, this is going to change because the government does plan to import fuel in Kenya shillings. Nevertheless, the statement still rings true. Not just for Kenyans, but for everybody around the world. The world is changing, and Russia, China, they're looking to move on to a different currency for trade. Already doing so in some capacity, even in the Middle East, right? U.S. trying to protect dollar dominance, but for how long, I do not know. Anyway, wanted to thank Leonidas and Michael Branch just for posting that, guys. I also happen to see this from XRP Crypto Wolf. XRP becomes the largest trading crypto on South Korea's major exchanges. So maybe this is why we saw a lot of activity for XRP. Monday morning, I'm waking up and I'm already seeing price rally overnight. Could it be because of Korea trading volume? Well, XRP has taken the top spot in terms of trading volume on South Korea's two major exchanges, Upbit and BitThumb. In the last 24 hours, XRP combined trading volume on the two platforms, totaling nearly $348 million. The figure was achieved in pairs against the South Korean won. As a result, the volume of XRP traded on Upbit exceeded that on Binance, the largest cryptocurrency exchange, by nearly 100 million tokens. So even exceeding Binance, and Binance is a very, very large exchange. The anomaly was also noticed by members of the XRP community. When following it, the price of the cryptocurrency itself rose by 9% at one point yesterday amid a reddened crypto market. Obviously, both the rise in XRP price and trading volume were the result of increased interest from Korean investors. However, the exact reasons for this behavior can only be guessed. So we are seeing more volume. There is no verdict on why. I wanted to thank XRP Crypto Wolf for posting that. Also happen to see this, guys, from Lord Vendetta. A new update with Ripple partner FomoPay, guys. This article is in French, so I thought I would translate that to English. Ripple partner FomoPay has officially become a member of the Singapore Clearinghouse Association. So we also know Singapore, the country, does have very deep ties with Ripple. So FomoPay, the leading Singapore-based payment institution, on Monday announced its official membership to the Singapore Clearinghouse Association, a prestigious organization comprising the Monetary Authority of Singapore and elected financial institutions. As a member of SCHA, FomoPay will leverage the association's clearing service and facilities to improve the process of reconciling direct fund transfers between financial institutions, thereby ensuring timely business transactions for SCHA customers. FomoPay, while protecting all parties involved by recording transactions, details, and validating the availability of funds, FomoPay said in a statement. So it sounds like a process for more institutional grade payments, clearly through the Singapore Clearinghouse Association, associated with the Monetary Authority of Singapore, which is akin to their central bank. The membership represents another significant milestone for FomoPay after becoming a member of the SWIFT network recently in December of 2022. So companies that have adopted RippleNet moving up in terms of payment providing, moving away from, or not necessarily moving away, but moving into broader applications, the smaller retail transactions. That is, I guess, step one, and now moving into more institutional grade transactions with these partnerships, including the Singapore Clearinghouse Association and the Monetary Authority of Singapore. So some great news here from Ripple partner FomoPay. Wanted to thank Lord Vendetta for just letting us in on that. I also thought I'd bring this up, guys. This came across my desk on the weekend, but I wanted to take some time and talk about it today. It's looking as though the BuyBack is morphing into a bank. This coming from Sento Sumo Saba on Twitter. Looks like participants would still be sending their XRP. Not a game I want to play with my XRP. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about what this means, what it could mean, how XRP can be leveraged. David Schwartz even weighs in. Listen to this.
It seems like where most people would like this to go is not to basically sell it to the government in a buyback type of thing, but to basically collateralize a new bank, call it the People's Bank, not to sound like communist China. It's the People's Bank, and then use the value of those assets to basically draw down fiat and then do mortgages and stuff, exactly. And because this bank is more liquid because it's got the XRP, you can do things. So, one thing you could do, is have a group of people come to an agreement that the fair market value of XRP is very high. Let's say $10,000. We could all come together, put our $10,000 tokens into a new entity, collateralize it, then use fiat loans against our XRP to go acquire gold and bring gold into the bank. And now all of a sudden, when the collapse finally occurs, who's left standing with the gold and the XRP?
So I'm going to leave it there. Another interesting concept here, but Sento Sumo Saba, Crypto Eddie, saying this is turning into something that we, maybe didn't see coming. Again, Jimmy Valley just spitballing here, having a discussion about what in fact could happen. Ripple It In gets into it here. I wonder if anyone has told Jimmy that XRP has no value to borrow or lend against. So that's his hypothesis that he, discussing with Stephen Blackheath down here in this thread. I'm not going to go over the full thread with you, but I am going to link this in the description if you guys are interested in reading this in detail. I want to get to the gist of it, though. Ripple It In ending it with this. If XRP was valued by Jimmy at $10,000, that's his price. If a lender said, well, I can only collateralize it based on the last sale, which was 47 cents, and I know XRP can drop 90%. So they were talking about it being volatile and how that might not be the best option for collateralization. He goes on to say, I will offer you a loan of 47 cents per XRP for, say, 15% due to risk. The lender sets the values of collateral. And then Stephen responds, price volatility risk drives XRP's collateralization value down or collateral value down. Competition between lenders drives the XRP's collateral value up. It will still find its price. Today, volatility is trending up for traditional assets and down for crypto. And then Ripple It In responds, loan sharks would be the only ones really interested in collateralizing an asset that has no redemption value. Most certainly not risk-adverse real banks or money lenders. But then Joel Katz, David Schwartz, chimes in here. Maybe I don't understand what you mean by redemption value. Do stocks have redemption value? Do dollars? So he is challenging this statement. Based on the implied judgment, the dollar has its worth because the government says so. Based off of fundamentals, the dollar is worthless because the supply is infinity. That coming from another user, Ripple It In, responding here. The issuer, the government, gave it redemption value. They promised that the face value of the note or coin can be redeemed for its face value. We have an issuer, we have face value, we have redemption value. But then David Schwartz responds with this. 1 XRP can be redeemed for 1 XRP on the ledger, just as much as $1 can be redeemed for $1 from the government. If you mean some guarantee of value, stocks don't have that. They are routinely used as collateral. So David Schwartz supporting this statement that XRP could in fact be used as collateral. So listen to this, guys. Ripple It In responds, I understand that 1 XRP can be redeemed for 1 XRP, but 1 XRP has no inherent value. It is solely reliant on someone adding value to it to give it value and only hold that value for about 3 to 5 seconds. Buyers are the only ones who give XRP value, not sellers, nor any issuer. But David Schwartz responds, if a company buys back its own stock, it's acting as a buyer, not an issuer. Unless redemption is contractually required, it's always going to be at that same fair market value a buyer would buy the asset for and not guaranteed either. If you ask someone to explain why stocks make good collateral for loans, the number one reason would be that they are liquid. I'd be surprised if anything about possible issuer buybacks or redemption would even be on the list. Factors that make XRP good collateral is its proven history of liquidity and reliable price discovery. The biggest negative of using XRP for collateral is its volatility, which means you need either over-collateralization, other assurances of payment, or have to change high rates. So, could this in fact mean that, maybe they are moving towards collateral using XRP, or at least in their mind, in Ripple's mind? Because David Schwartz is here coming out and saying this, that they could see a use case for collateralization of XRP, that it is going to have value, but David Schwartz does say because of the volatility, over-collateralization is necessary. But could it also be a point that he's making that XRP is not going to be volatile forever, i.e. it needs to command that high, stable price in order for all these applications to be realized? Down here, he says one reason might be if you had a lot of XRP and plan to hold a lot of it for a long time anyway, you could over-collateralize the loan by a significant amount. The sticking point would be that to keep the interest rate down, you need some way to protect the lender if the price started dropping. So, he's explaining this in a volatile situation. If XRP was still volatile, that's hard to do for a mortgage because the house isn't very liquid. Perhaps if they had the right to take the XRP, if it wasn't kept above a particular collateralization rate, that would make it a good deal for the lender. But you'd need a borrower who had a lot of XRP and was willing to lock much up for the duration of the loan. You could just require the borrower to keep the loan at 150% or be liquidated. Certainly a very niche product. But there are a lot of people who hold a lot of crypto and might want to borrow against their positions, possibly to get a leveraged buy and possibly to buy other things. This is a common DeFi use case. So David Schwartz here giving us his insight on how XRP can in fact be collateralized. And even Zach Rector here noticing this. David enters the conversation and explains how to collateralize your XRP. For myself, this has always been the plan, or been the plan all along, leveraging XRP into more businesses and real estate. So again, just touching on that, some people like Bubba Cugs down here responding, I'm not going to relinquish a large portion of my XRP. I'm going to save that for the long haul. Other people also responding down here, guys. So again, just going back to David Schwartz's comment, the volatility of XRP is high. It's high today, but he does defend this notion that one can in fact collateralize XRP. It would have to be at a higher rate, over collateralization, if XRP is volatile. But what if down the road we do in fact see an XRP worth $50, $100, $200, $589 per coin? And if it remains steady at that price, maybe we don't need to over collateralize. Considering XRP is liquid, it would be a perfect mechanism to use as collateral for other products. So again, just going back to this notion, the buyback theory, morphing into a bank, could we see this happening, guys? Would it be beneficial for XRP hodlers? Or do you want to keep your XRP liquid? I mean, some people have brought up good points as well. If you do hold enough XRP, who's to say you couldn't relinquish 1%, let's say? I mean, if you did have, let's say, 100,000 XRP for sake of argument, giving up 1% of your XRP would be 1,000 XRP. And if you did in fact have to hold it, as some people are stating, they're going to be holding their XRP anyway, and your 1% does reach $10,000 per coin, well, that's $10 million right there. Who knows how long you'd have to wait for that? But that's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.